What's up?
How you feeling, man, about kind of your debut, your first NFL game?
It feels great. We just, taking it day by day. Not really thinking about the game right now. Just, working our craft, making sure we'll be confident in our plays and just communicating. But until the game comes, we'll be ready.
You don't know if you'll be matched up with Malik Neighbors out there on the field. It may happen, but obviously, what kind of challenge does he present at secondary?
Malik is a great athlete. Great wide receiver. He's going to be the whole 11. Just going and just playing with great confidence and just going out there and play ball at the end of the day. I faced him once when I was at Bama. It was like 2022. It was just one play, but So.
What from watching him on film, what makes him a good receiver, and what do you need to do if you are matched up against him?
He has great ball skills, man. Great releases. Really can't, say no weaknesses, But we just gotta go out there, go compete, believe in our strategy, and just do our thing.
We can probably bounce.
Just play relaxed. Just calm down. The game will come to you. You're gonna have a lot of emotions. Just find some music, find something to calm you down, and you'll be right. You'll be good. Go-to music. I like listening to YB, Young Boy, No Cap here and there, but yeah, that's my go-to.
What's up, Deebo? What do you do?
After everything, the offseason, getting traded, everything in San Fran, finally getting on that field in a new uniform, what's that going to feel like?
It's going to feel good. I had a little glimpse of it in, the preseason. We went out there and went out for a drive, but it's real football now, even though preseason is real football, but it's really real now when you get out there on Sunday.
What do you think this offense is going to look like now with all the pieces, with you, Terry, Noah, everybody out there?
I think we're going to look real good and score a lot of points.
On that note, Terry yesterday called you a dog, and he said he doesn't use that word lightly. How do you feel about that kind of
that means a lot, especially coming from a guy like him, with all the success that he'd had in this league. It's just been, so much energy with him and Noah back out there on the field, and we just been feeding off each other, just building that chemistry for sure.
Some guys say they don't pay attention to any noise. Some guys say they play with a chip on their shoulder. Which one do you think you are going into this year?
Just ready to get to work. Just ready to get to work.
Look back to last season, there were so many incredible moments with this Commanders team. How eager are you to be a part of those moments yourself this year and kind of maybe try to continue that magic for this franchise?
I wouldn't consider it magic. When I got here, DQ emphasized brotherhood, and ever since I've been in this locker room, that's just been the main thing of just coming out here and getting better every day. And, we're going to take it game by game and just see how the season goes.
But why is this an attractive landing spot for you?
I knew AP. Jaden just had a great season. They had a great season as a whole. In San Fran, we was used to winning, and they building something really good here, and kind of close to home, so not too far. So that kind of played a main role as well.
Is there any comparison with your connection with Brandon back in San Fran to you and Terry now?
I wouldn't compare.
How do you think you are going to help Terry and vice versa?
You just have to see on Sunday.
You said you did come out and score a lot of points. You've been on offenses that have scored a lot of points. What's the key to a fast start?
You just got to start fast. Just go out there with a lot of energy and see what happens.
You've been a part of several openers throughout your career. How important is it to set the tone here and make a statement?
Oh, you got to set the tone off the rip, whether it's offense or defense, whoever go out there first. But I'm a guy that like to get the ball first, so the offense and special teams set the tone and just go from there.
A lot of fans are excited to see how Cliff uses you. What would you tell those fans?
1 o'clock Sunday, 1 p.m.
You've been around some guys that have had a lot of hype, yourself included. A lot of people wouldn't have thought that the 7th-round running back would get a lot of attention. What have you kind of made of watching Bill's journey this summer?
Just watching him grow from when he got here to now, it's been a tremendous success for him. We've seen a lot in the preseason, but I think we've seen a lot more at practice of him just getting better every day.
Scoreboard aside, if there are specific things you would say would constitute a successful opener for this team?
Everybody just playing one accord. Win, lose, or draw. As long as we just we put everything out there, and then that's all that matters. No problem. What's up?
Mikey, don't want to start off with a bad note, right? But yes, last year, that moon ball from Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers, Commanders game. What do you remember of that play and just facing Russell Wilson the first time?
Which one?
The Steelers game.
The one I broke up, you talking about? Or
No, it wasn't against you, but just overall.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he hit a touchdown towards the end of the game. Ended up being
Oh,
the
that
best
was
score.
just situational football. We just got to be better. I remember, specifically just being told, not to, in those situations, don't sit on routes. Just because the way he throws the ball, he doesn't want to throw it over top, give his guys a chance to go up and get it. So we just, in that moment, game-winning situations, just got to be better. And that's one thing we've emphasized a lot this offseason, just in those moments, making sure we're really good on our technique, good on our rules and fundamentals. So just is one thing like we've really, really focused on this offseason.
And when you know you're going up against a guy who not only loves to throw that pass, but is really good at it, how does that kind of change your mentality as a corner?
I think it's just making sure, you're in good shape, down the field, and just understanding where he wants to put the ball. And it also tells you that you have a chance to go and make plays on the ball as well.
Appreciate it.
Setting the tone in the opener, how important is that, and how do you guys do that Sunday?
It's very open, very open. It's very important, setting the tone in the home opener. I think the way you do that is you go out there, you play, with good details. The things you focused on in the offseason, you make sure you bring it to life come Sunday. And just, you want to make sure that the mistakes are very minimum, but just go out there, play fast, play free, and just, play as a unit. I think it's very easy for mistakes to show up early in the season because, you're super excited to get out there and just play football again, which is normal, but I think it just comes back to being disciplined. And that's just, that's who we are. That's how we roll. But you have to play. You have to play on the edge of out of control. You know what I'm saying? So out of control, but composed at the same time.
Frank, you guys have been through the whole camp, the whole preseason. How do you, as a secondary quarterbacks and safeties, feel about where this group is at and what you guys can do this season and in week one?
I think just we continue playing as a unit. Communicating at a high level, knowing where we're supposed to be on the field, everybody knowing what their job is supposed to be. Then we can play fast, play free, and just go out there and not having to think about certain things, just go out there and just play ball. So I think when we play like that, when we're all on the same page, all focused, then we could do very special things.
You were the rookie last year. What do you tell Trey going into week one this year?
Really, it's just the same thing. You've been playing football forever. The only difference is the people. But other than that, just go out there, be you. You're here for a reason. They brought you here for a reason. Just, what I'm saying, let your – come show them how to do it. But, just come out here and just do the things that, you were blessed to do. You're a great football player. You've done it time and time again. Like I said, the only difference is the people you're doing it with, against, and your fans in front of. So just go out there and just be yourself.
Now that you have had a full summer with Trey and Marshawn, what has it been like working with those two?
Yeah, you can feel the connection. Marshawn's been great. It feels good to see him back out there, confident, back to himself. Just coming in last year, dealing with the injuries that he had, I definitely could see that he feels more like himself again. And then as far as Trey, just seeing what he's brought into the room as a rookie. I'm excited to see what we do this year as a unit.
For us, we can't just load sleep to a lot of things. Just expect what they're going to bring out and what we see on film, and just play what we see.
And Russell Wilson has a tendency to use his tight ends a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously you're going to be a part of that strategy. What's the key to kind of shutting down the tight end in that situation?
Just good eyes. Do a lot of eye candy with a lot of motions, and and that's leaving us with bad eyes. So motions happening, we got to stay on our keys, and especially for me, that's a lot of what happens in the court, and that's something that I'm taking to effect in this game.
You've been a part of several openers over your career. How important is it to set the tone in this opener, and how do you guys do that from kickoff?
I think it's very important. That was the first one, and I feel like we got to set the tone. That's going to set the standard for the season. So it's very important, and I'm just ready, man. I don't have any words. I'm ready to get out there. I'm itching to get on the field and just celebrate with the guys, and just ready to see someone else for sure.
You've shown a lot of ability to get to the passer.
Yeah.
They built a bigger defensive line in front of you going into this season. How will that impact you getting to the passer?
Oh, it'll impact us a lot. Man, you got like Kinlaw, and then you got Payne up there. So, man, they doing a lot of the dirty work, and then it's just freeing me and Bobby up. But just even better, get faster, quicker, get to the quarterback, get them off the rhythm, make it a phone bowl for them, and just having us all play 111.
Thanks, Frankie.
Thanks, P.
Why do you and Bobby work so well together?
What do you say?
Comes on Sunday, just our preparation through the week, and it's one of the things like that's why we practice. We have mistakes on the field. We're just able to counter off each other and just play, accordingly and play and be on the same page.
Frankie, obviously we'll see what happens on Sunday, but what do you kind of make up the group that you have and ways you guys think you can improve off of what they did last year?
Yeah, that was last year. I didn't know about Jaden, last year. But, we got a solid group, man. Javon Kinlaw is a dog. Dietrich Wise is a dog in there, too. Deron Payne has been playing at a high level for a long time. You got Frankie, Luvu, and Bobby Wagner, Dorrance Armstrong. We got some guys up front.
You've been a part of several openers over the course of your career. How important is it to set the tone in this one, and then how do you guys do that exactly on defense?
You just take it 1 week at a time. This is the first week. Obviously you want to go out there and win, and that's the only thing that you're thinking about. They got a great team. They got a lot of great players in a lot of great spots. Played Russ a bunch. He's a really good quarterback. They got a stud at wide receiver, some studs on the offensive line as well. Probably the strength of the team is that defensive line. They got a lot of dogs over there on that defensive line. So definitely got to play our game, do what we do, and I feel confident in us.
What gives you the confidence that this team is ready for Sunday?
Just the work that we put in over training camp. This is my 15th training camp that I've been a part of. And, this is a special one. Just coming here and working with these guys and seeing the type of work that we put in. I'm anxious to get out there and play.
You're an experienced guy on the roster of a lot of experienced guys. What changes with experience? What changes now?
I just think it's perspective. I've always loved football, but at 36 years old, going out there and playing a child's game is definitely a joy. So when I go out there and play, I'm highly grateful and appreciative of this opportunity to go out there and play football at 36 years old.
But after 15 training camps, how's your body feel?
I'm feeling good, and they do a really good job here of keeping the guys healthy. Built-in recovery periods, day on, day off. The rumors about Dan Quinn are true. He's a player's coach. He keeps the guys healthy, and I definitely felt that his training camp.
You mentioned their quarterback a couple times. What makes Russ so tough for so long?
He's just polished in all aspects. And he throws a really good deep ball. He makes really good reads. He doesn't rush it back there. He trusts the offensive line. He trusts his wide receivers, and he has a really good one over there with Malik Neighbors. And battle Russ a bunch, man, and he's always tough to defend.
Obviously, you're ready for whatever's going to come, but how much does it help your motivation or your mind knowing with Jaden, a quarterback like that, you guys have a chance not just to win Sunday, but win a lot of games? How much does it help, push through whatever you're going to push through?
Yeah, we got to stud at quarterback. And that's a key piece of a championship team. We got that. And, we really don't even know what the ceiling is for Jaden. We just want to, support him and do our job and, play our roles and make plays and get him the ball as much as possible, get him as many shots on goal as possible. That's some of the stuff that we did in Buffalo. Just keep the ball in Jaden's hands and, let him do his thing. Appreciate you.